You guys, we're gonna wrap this up. The 90-day fiance thing, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I was genuinely trying to give you every couple, but the reality of it is there's new shows coming on, the new year is coming in, and I want to give you guys something that's like not over. I want to actually go through from the beginning to the end of a series with you guys. I started doing the whole 90-day fiance thing kind of late, and it's over. The tell all has come. Everyone has said and their piece or whatever. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give you guys two videos today before we go into 2018. And today by myself, I'm going to do Elizabeth and Andre. I'm going to do Ika and Josh, and I'm going to do Spanish David and Evelyn. And then once Aaron comes in and gets settled, we're going to go ahead and do Azan and Nicole, and we're going to have that up for you guys before we go into the new year, hopefully. So basically, I'm going to start off by myself because, well, Aaron's not here and he only watches certain parts of the show because he only likes certain couples. So some couples, he'll be on his phone and he'll be playing games and he's really not paying attention. So let's jump into this thing, you guys. First of all, I'm going to start off with Elizabeth and Andre. Now, the reason I'm starting off with them is because theirs is just like the biggest misunderstanding ever to me. I feel like people look at Andre and go, he's a chauvinistic pig. And on some levels he is, but look at his culture that he grew up in his culture where he's from, the man takes care of the woman, he protects, he provides, and he makes sure that she's safe. And because she's she's in the Western culture, she's from our culture, a lot of our men do that, but they do it on a different level. It's kind of more of a, hey, just text me and let me know that you made it home safe. Or, hey, I know you're going out with your friends tonight, but just try not to get too drunk. It's not as controlling as Andre seems like he's being, where he's like, I don't want you doing this and I don't want you doing that and I don't want you going here. And if you're going to go, I'm going to go with you because it's my job to protect you. And okay, I mean, as a wife, my husband threatens my friends. Aaron threatens my friends. Like if I go out with my friends and he cannot go, there is a threat, like a real life one. And I don't ever take it as he's being overprotective. And my friends they've never said anything to me, but Aaron tells them, like, if something happens to her while she's with you, we're going to have a problem. So I get Elizabeth's stand on it. Like, I just don't want to do that because it could, like, last time we did that, this happened. Or the last time we did that, I got way too drunk. Or whatever her situation is. So she's just decided that her husband or her now husband, he just kind of wants what's best for her. And if it's going to keep a peaceful home to have it that way, then she's good. Like, she's grown. She's good. She's okay. Her sisters are not having it. They're married off to richer men who are probably older, who are definitely older than them. So there's just kind of like a understanding there. I'm going to do what I want to do and I'm going to be your wife, but I'm going to do what I want. And those older, richer, more successful men, they tolerate it because they want to keep a pretty girl on their arm. Whereas though Elizabeth and Andre, they're really pretty much the same age and they're trying to build something together. They're trying to create a stability together. And Andre's like, listen, in order for us to do that, I need you to act like a wife. I'm not saying you can't hang out with your family. I'm not saying that you can't go out with your friends. I'm just saying I need you to act responsibly and act like you're somebody's wife. I don't see no beef in that. I mean, some people do. I don't. Whatever. So they try to sum it all up at the tell-all. The sisters come in and they try to like make it seem like they weren't really upset with Andre, or they were just testing him, and they would do all of that for anybody else, and they have done that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that they've done that. Like, they've taken phones and things like that, like they did Elizabeth on her bachelorette party. Like, they took her phone, and that created conflict, and it's like they were testing Andre. They weren't testing Elizabeth. They were testing him to see how far he would go verbally, and they would try to use that against him. And when it didn't work, it's like, oh, well, Andre, we do that to anybody. And I just don't believe that. I don't believe that for 1 second. I think that they really feel like Andre's changing Elizabeth for the worse. And I don't. I think that he's changing her for the best. And that's what she wants. So it's really nobody else's business. So, yeah, that's them. They're fine. They're happy. They seem like they figured it all out. So then we move on to Spanish David and Evelyn. Now, Evelyn's 18 and David was 26 or is 26. I'm not sure about birthdays and all those things. So there is about an 8-year difference between the two. Now, the thing is, Evelyn is really, really, in my opinion, she's really entitled and she's really, really manipulative. And she does things that an 18-year-old would do. I mean, most 18-year-olds are those things for the most part. We kind of, at 18, I wanted my way, and I didn't really want anybody to tell me anything about anything. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do, and that's pretty much what Evelyn is on the spectrum. She wants to do what she wants to do, and David's like, no, we need to be able to do this as a couple, or we're going to have a hard time. If we're arguing about stupid stuff now, we're going to be like, we're starting off bad. And she just doesn't understand where he's coming from. And ultimately, when it comes to things in the wedding, he gives her way. He doesn't have a lot to say in things. And even to a point, like, he even defends her the way she defended him when his friends were talking smack about her. He stepped up and defended. Like, he said, hey, listen, you need to respect my wife. You need to respect my decision. And you need to not be rude. High five, David, for, protecting your wife. Because everybody thinks that Evelyn's just being a little bit of a bratty little bitch. Sorry. She was, but, have that conversation when I'm not around. Or how about you don't have that conversation at all? Because that's my wife, and that's, my problem, my issues, I'll fix it. And as their story went on, you start to learn that David's biggest issue with Evelyn is not even the fact that he doesn't have a say in the wedding. His biggest issue with her is that she doesn't want to leave her small town. She's so connected to this small town. Like, she doesn't want to leave. She doesn't really want to see the world. And it's like, oh, we can do that for vacation and then come back home. And David's like, no, I want to go live different places. I want to go experience different things. I don't want to be stuck in a small town. I don't want to do that. Like, I want you to want more. I want you to want to see more. I want you to just get the hell out of this small town and experience life. Like, there's probably better apples in China. There's better views in Madrid. And they keep calling him, they keep basically telling him that he thinks that he's superior. Well, they don't ever really say it to him, but they keep telling the cameras, like her and her family keep telling the cameras that he comes off a little bit as like stuck up. And like he's better than them. And honestly, if he's experienced life, even her parents haven't. So what I'm saying is, if he's experienced something and he's trying to take your daughter to experience those things, instead of being fucking rude about it, how about you thank him? Because some men who get married at a young age, they have no plans on seeing the world. They have no plans on working so that they can do better. And they're good staying stuck. And if you guys wanted that for her, then maybe your prayer should have been, I hope my daughter finds someone here who isn't well-rounded. Because David seems like he's trying to round himself out in the best way possible. And he wants to take Evelyn with him. And the parents hate it because it's like, oh, you're breaking up the group though. And it's like, yeah, but it's not about the group. Your daughter's getting married. It's about her and her husband now. Sorry, guys, but that's what it is. They were pretty much basic. I mean, not basic. Yeah, basic. They were pretty much basic. They were pretty much boring. Their arguments were things that could definitely get over once they had a discussion and an understanding of the minds. And I think that the two of them will be just fine. I mean, once she realizes that this is a team effort and David can, be patient with her, I think they'll be just fine, you guys. I don't think there's going to be any issues. Yeah, she's kind of young, but I was 22 when I got married, and people felt like I was kind of young. You can't put age on if the relationship's going to be successful or not. So that's them. They are fine. David explains how, he just kind of felt disappointed and disrespected by Evelyn when she decided to talk about sex because he's just not that guy. And like I said, it's just really two minds trying to become one, and they're going to hit those hiccups. And I think after they figure that all out, they'll be fine. Boom. So then we get to Ika and Josh. Now, my issue with Ika and Josh is kind of my issue with David and Evelyn. Like, their friends have a lot to say about a lot. And Evelyn didn't really speak up much for David. She took his side, but it was really silent more than actually, like, stepping up and being like, hey, listen, you can't talk to him like that. If you have questions, it's a better time to, like, ask these questions or deal with this, or better yet, you come to me and you tell me your concerns and I'll deal with it. Evelyn doesn't really, she doesn't really do that. She just kind of like lets them go back and forth. Now with Ika and Josh, it's the same thing. Josh's best friend has so much to say about Ika. Oh, she's over here for a green card, and oh, she's only over here for kids, and oh, she's only over here for money. And for me, I just kind of feel like, so what? And so what? Like, so I'd be damned. Okay, if I would move to another country and tell you that it's just for love, because it's not. I'm moving to another country for a reason. Hell, I moved to another state for a reason, and I was married. It was not because I loved him and I just wanted it. No, we went to California. I thought that I would have better in California. I wanted to go to Le Cordon Bleu, and that's where it was. It was in California, and I wanted to go to school. Yes, I love my husband, but there was an opportunity for me to go to school at what I felt was one of the best culinary schools in the world. So yeah, we're going to go to California. I think that's a good move. It wasn't just because I loved him. Like, we have things to do. Like, we have shit to do. We have the empire to build, and the only way we're going to build that is if both of us are in this to win this. And if we're not, and we're just going to be like, oh, we're in love. Well, love doesn't pay bills. Love does not get us the things that we want out of life, and it builds a team. But it's like, how long does that team stay together if everything else is out of place? So I say, so what? I say, so what if she's over here for a green card? Okay. I say, so what if she wants kids with him and she's not sure how important, like, she's not sure if she'll be able to sustain a relationship if they cannot have children. I want children. I do. Now, for me, I want my husband more, but we want kids. We both want kids. We're not going to let that dissolve our marriage, but for some people, that is like the end all be all. They only get married to have kids. That's it. Like, some people literally only get married to have children. There's no love at all. And these are Western people. These are people in our culture in the States, around the world. I am only marrying him, not even for the money. I'm only marrying him because I want kids. I'm tolerating the fact that he continues to cheat on me because I want kids with him, or I want kids with her specifically. For whatever reason, it's not for us to judge, but people do it. And I think that people should stop jumping on Ika because she wants a baby. Let her have her baby. Let her have her baby. And she probably doesn't want to raise her kid in her country because it's probably tough over there. And it's just not, it's just not the same opportunities here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the opportunity that her child would have here is totally different than the opportunity that they may have over in her culture in the Philippines. I'm almost pretty sure she's from the Philippines. And so she's like, I want to have kids. Like, we get married and we deal with things because we love each other, yes, but ultimately you want to procreate, and that's what I want. And I'm not sure if our marriage will make it if he looks me in my face and says he does not want a child. I don't blame her. I mean, people do it all the time. Men do it, women do it, women do it. Like, oh, like it happens. You get over it. I mean, you get over it by getting through it together, or you guys separate and then she goes and finds what it is that she needs, or he goes and finds whatever it is that he needs. I mean, kids are a pretty big deal. That is a deal breaker for a lot of people. If you don't want children, I don't know if we're going to make it. It's a deal breaker for some folks. So that just kind of is what it is. Sorry, but it is. At the tell-all, we've learned that Louise is there. And I talked about Molly and Louis. I don't know why I want to call him Louise so bad. I talk about Molly and Louis because my husband insists that I call him that. And we learned that Andre thinks that he's a punk and that he's only in the States for the green card. And I don't think he loves Molly the way Molly loves him. I don't think that the passion that she has for him is the same passion that he has for her. I do believe he loves her. I just think that for him, it's kind of just like the women. It's going to help his family. He already has a brother that lives over here that's married to an American woman. And maybe his brother just wasn't doing enough for back home. So he's like, listen, I know this lady. I love her. We're going to go over there and I'm going to try to marry her. Let's do this. And they're going to help the family. I think that it's really the same thing. And the punk part of it was that he actually left. Like, yes, she kicks him out or whatever, but he doesn't try to fight for his family on camera that we can see. Now, we don't know what happens off a camera, of course, but he just doesn't seem like he cares very much. Like, oh, you want to put me out? Cool. I'm going to go stay with my brothers, and that's what I'm going to do. And Molly takes him back because he doesn't believe in divorce, of course, because he's like in his faith when he wants to be. Just saying. He's just saying. And so at that moment when Molly decides that she's not ready to get rid of to dissolve the marriage, and he's like, I'm not going to dissolve the marriage because I don't believe in divorce. Molly's like, well, then you need to come on home so we can try to fix it, because there's no sense of us being married, but you out there living, wild and free. So come on home. Molly says that he is doing better and he's trying, but you can tell that he still has an issue with Olivia, and he probably really still has an issue with Kinsley also. But he's going to act as if he doesn't because he has an ultimate goal here. And yes, like I said, I think he loves Molly, but the bigger picture for him is taking care of his family back at home. And in order for him to do that, he needs to be here. He needs to get his green card. He needs to get a job. He needs to do what he needs to do to take care of his family. That's it. I mean, that's it. Uh, so yeah, you guys, I think that's it. I'm gonna talk about just a little bit Asin and Nicole. I know he's not home, and he's gonna probably see this and be like, for real, babe. But I have to say something really, really quickly. Asin doesn't love Nicole. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Asin doesn't love her. I don't know what his ulterior motive is. His family seems like they're doing pretty good over in Morocco, but he doesn't love Nicole. He doesn't love her, not even, I can't even say like in the way that Nicole loves him. He doesn't love her. You see it all over his face that he doesn't, really want to tolerate her. He's happy when she leaves. He's happy when he leaves. Like you see it in certain episodes when he goes hang out with his friends and he's just like, the smile is just there. I think he also loves May, but I don't think that he particularly cares for Nicole. And the reality of it is Nicole cheated on him twice that we know of. Twice. So I also think if he did start out loving her, once that happened, it's like, oh, I can't trust you and you're not trying to do these things that I've asked you to do. So what's the point? So I don't know. We'll dig a little bit deeper into that one, but he don't love her.